Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Open DAO. We are super excited to be bringing you our very first Education Alliance team call. And we have a great panel with us. Yonks, Buki, Angie, Citronite, Suchi, and Crypto Dino. Super excited to have all you guys introduce yourself and talk about your vision of what you want the Education Alliance to look like. We're also going to be monitoring the YouTube comments. So if any of you guys are watching online and you'd like to jump in with a question or comment for anybody on our panel, go ahead and drop those comments in YouTube, and we will be monitoring those as throughout as we go. So with that, I'd like to give all of our panelists a about 1 minute to just introduce themselves, and let's start with you, Yonks, and we'll go around the panel.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Yonks. As I alluded to, you are my superpower. So thank you for all that you do. And before I finish or conclude the intro, I wanted to showcase the Google Calendar and why the live stream format. And then I'll come back real quick to the intro, because this whole live stream format is something that a lot of people aren't familiar with. And I'm actually sharing with you our agenda and meeting notes here for the Education Alliance. This is our first team call, and very excited to be using this format because we really want to create an open and inclusive community. So looking over here, I created this page in our Notion space as far as the why the live stream format. I'm not going to go into details on that. And the other thing too is created a Google Calendar. So looking over here, this is for tomorrow. As you can see, we've got so much stuff on the calendar. We are moving fast and we're going to get things done here at SOS in the Open DAO. We love this community. So taking a look here, like this is an easy way to stay informed for the various things. Because the great thing about this is that this will be conveniently recorded on all the major social media channels. This right now is streaming to YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, all through the live streaming magic. And as Mrs. Yonks mentioned, we've got this amazing Restream bot over here. Looking forward to having that in the SOS Discord very, very soon. So coming back to the agenda, I was a multi-sig candidate, very engaged, work in DAOs on a full-time basis, and we absolutely love the DAO ecosystem. For those that aren't familiar, a DAO stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization. I've been talking too much already. I'm going to kick it back to you, Mrs. Yonk, so that you can have the next person do a quick introduction.
Sure, that'd be great. One other thing, I wanted to make sure that you guys all had a chance to subscribe to our Google Calendar. I got so excited to hear from the panel. I forgot to mention that we've got a Google Calendar. So if you go to, Jason, can you bring that up on screen? If you go to our Google Calendar and you subscribe to it, it should show it to you in your local time. So right now we're streaming this. It's 1 a.m. UTC, so wherever that is for you in the world. Just make sure that shows up in the correct time. But we are going to start trying to put all these events on Google. I know Discord can be a lot sometimes, so we are excited to offer that to make it easier. So with that, Angie, we would love an intro for you. Tell us a little bit about your story, what brings you here, and what your vision is in just a minute or two.
Wow, hi. My real name is Paul, but Paul isn't very interesting on the internet. So my real name is my internet name is Angus, ANGTS, Angs, or most people just call me Angus. So well, where should I start? I'm actually a family doctor, so I'm also teaching in the local university, training new medical students. So I also attended a lot of instructional design workshops and courses at Harvard Extension School. So I was pursuing a master's degree there as well. Yeah, but I've since stopped it since the pandemic, which is sad. But in terms of the DAO, like I joined crypto in 2019 when the patient told me to buy Bitcoin. So at that time, I just bought it. I just kept it. But it was only sometime in February. I bought GameStop. So you guys can ask me the backstory next time. But after GameStop, I lost all my faith in the TradFi, the TradFi world. I went deep into crypto. I studied Ethereum, and in May I joined the Bankless DAO. So I'm like a community manager there as well for the past 5 to 6 months. And here I am, yeah, in Open DAO. Like after I got my airdrop, I immediately went out there to buy another 10 billion. And recently during the dip, I bought another 5 billion. So what I want some kind of a sinking fund, some kind of how should I say, like a endowment fund for crypto education. But that is such a huge kind of thing that I don't know. I don't know whether I'll see it during my lifetime, but we are gonna make it someday. Okay. So on the other side notes, I'm actually like financially free. So I'm actually like I enjoy my life. I actually don't have to do any of these, but it is because of DAO work and NFTs and all that that I'm brought back to like this. And I feel that it's just so fun to be able to train the next generation of leaders, to lead this world to a better place. Yeah. Okay, I got to give some time for the other people to speak.
That was
Thanks for
amazing, and I
listening.
feel like we all just got smarter just being on the same panel with you. You're amazing. So, Citronite, welcome to the panel. Give us an intro.
Oh, hello everyone, and Happy New Year, whoever is watching. I am from New York, and my internet name is Citronite. My actual name is Fatim Nabil. And a little bit of background about me is that I am heavily involved in the education industry, especially in the test prep. So I own a test prep company where we educate students for specifically for a standardized test. And that's what I do full time. And I got involved in crypto back in 2020 because of the pandemic, and the entire test prep industry was switched to online. And I had a lot of time, and that's when I was just researching crypto and then seeing what's going on. So I invested a little bit in crypto, then kind of like went down the spiral of crypto road, became an Ethereum validator, at one point, and then just doing investments here and there. And then I found Open DAO recently. So I'm not from the OpenSea NFT community, just letting you guys know, but I found Open DAO on Twitter. So people are talking about it, and I was like, okay, let's see what's going on. So I really liked the idea of what Open DAO did to a lot of people, especially with that airdrop. And they had this mission where they're saying that it's going to be protecting the NFT community, right? There's going to be a specific fund for people who got scammed in the NFT community, something that I really liked, and I thought I should contribute, in this community in any way, education-wise. Since this is what I do, definitely that's why I became part of the Education Alliance, also the Marketing Alliance too. And let's just see, I'm just here to contribute, anything that I can do. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks. Glad you're here. Buki, we would love to hear from you. Tell us, give us a quick intro.
Hi guys, my name is Buki. I'm from Palau, small island in the Pacific, but I live in New York. But yeah, so basically I claim my tokens, and I'm pretty new in the Web3 space. I'm a developer, but still learning a lot of stuff. I went down the NFT rabbit hole, and I love NFTs. We started our own NFT project where we're building it from the ground up, live on Twitch, so that people can learn by doing with us, and ask questions live. So when I saw the Education Alliance, I really wanted to contribute to that, and also learn by doing with you guys, because you definitely know more than me. But yeah, basically I just want to have a positive impact on people who are new to this space, because I know I had a lot of questions and it took me a while to know what to ask. So gives that opportunity to other people. Yeah.
Awesome. Suchi, our favorite, go ahead and introduce yourself, and let's get everybody ready. I'll get fired up off your energy.
Yeah, thank you very much for introducing my like that. Thank you very much. Me personally, what I'm really proud of in my life is that I think the biggest achievements of the people is how many books they read. And my goal in life was to at least read 1,000 books before I reached 30 years old. And that is what I'm really proud of. And after that, I just carry on reading book. And one thing that I really believe in, and I think it just made me who I am, is that if you learn something, what you have to do is that immediately start to teach it. And that's going to cause you to learn it better, and going to cause the cause and effect, and that wave to carry on. And then that energy going to come back with more information to you in the long run. And that is what I tested throughout my life. And I cannot tell you guys that how magical is this. Like, this is the most magical things that ever happened to me, that you learn and immediately you teach, and you carry on this circle, and you're not going to believe the information that's going to come back to you. It's going to be like magic. You're going to ask for the question from the infinite intelligence, and it's going to be shown in front of your eyes. I know this is going to sounds like a magic or something, but this is happening in the world. I'm sure everybody that is in the educational system on the higher level, we are talking about the PhD levels, and because I study mine engineering, I study private pilot. I have a private pilot license in Iran, and then I study film studies in the Middlesex University of London. That's where I reside for 9 years now. So I just all my life been into the, trying to educate myself. I studied 4.5 years psychology, but these are the personal studies and stuff that I did, like on the side of basically my degrees. But one thing I can tell you is that if I don't go to gym, and if I don't learn at least one topic a day, I won't feel good about that day. And I'm not going to let this life, and it is very valuable to go without the learning. So if you click on my name, I'm on all the alliances. I try to dedicate as much as I can towards the Open DAO, because I love this community, and I love that this airdrop has been given to the artists and the people that were interested into the arts, and they're trading the arts and blockchain combination that we call them NFTs. So it's just like so amazing being among you guys. And I'm sure one thing that I want to contribute to the Education Alliances is to make this so simple to understand, because that is what really teaching is about. If you go into the class, or if somebody explaining something to you and you feel like, wow, this is confusing, maybe I don't understand, let me tell you, your teacher didn't understand it very well. Because if somebody understands something very well, it is just so simple to explain and so simple to learn.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Crypto Dino, welcome to the stage. We'd love to have you introduce yourself.
Good day, guys. Crypto Dino from Australia. My real name is Dino Zhang. So I've been on the crypto journey since 2016. So I started to mine Bitcoin in the border of China and Mongolia. So since last year, the Chinese government banned the mining, and then afterwards they banned the exchanges and now all the tradings. So the mining gig has to stop. But I get into NFT earlier this year and start with a game. We play a lot of Axie Infinity. I also run an Axie Infinity guild with about 330 scholarships, and we have about 17,000 in our Discord. Along the journey, there's so much to share, and I think I'm a true believer that whatever we learn along the journey doesn't really belong to us. It belongs to the whole society or community. So we need to give it back, and then make sure that the scams and other tricks doesn't really apply to those newbies. Because if a newbie comes to the space and then gets scammed, guess what? They're not going to introduce their friends and families into this space, right? So what we're trying to achieve through this educational alliance is touch a few major points. So for example, what is the basic of the DAO, and explain to them, how it's function, and this is not a meme token, anything. And secondly, trying to let them know some of the traditional scams. Obviously, the scammers, they innovate and can be really creative. So some of the key points could include the wallet authentication tricks, and some of the Discord impersonal tricks, Twitter space and Twitter giveaway interviews. I got caught a few times too, and also the third-party trading platform link scams. So I've been with the Bored Ape Dual Club community for quite a while. It's heartbroken seeing some of the the friends and family there got their wallet completely drained because they just simply click a wrong link. So that's something really motivated me to do that every single day. Thank you.
That's amazing. Yes, and that's so important. And for everybody in the audience, we post this all over the place. Just one more reminder, never click on links from DMs. Never click on you want some Bitcoin, give us your passwords to claim it. All that stuff is all scams. If you are ever not sure about something, just tag a moderator, and 99% of the time it's going to be a scam. And if it's not, there'll be an official announcement about it. So we just want to make sure everybody stays safe out there. E-Money, welcome to the stage, and we'd love to have you introduce yourself.
Hey guys, my name's Eric, but everyone calls me E-Money. I do not have as impressive as a resume as any of you guys. Y'all are incredible. Thank you so much for having me, Miss Yonks and Yonks. Suchi, I love you. I actually got into crypto earlier this year. And I had previously been in restaurants and working 80 hours a week as a manager of a high-end restaurant and not getting paid what I was worth was just so dejecting. I got involved in a small mining operation on ETH earlier this year, and ended up taking majority control of the operation, and then started getting into other kinds of crypto and learning. And I ended up in NFTs. And then about a month and a half into it, I was participating heavily in my home server, the Wall Street Bulls, and had just been made an assistant mod. And one of the other members of the community bought me a plane ticket and an Airbnb so that I could go down to Art Basel with them. And the day before I was leaving, I was trying it, like it happened 2 days before the event was supposed to start. And so I tried to get all my affairs in order, and I was talking to one of the mods on my server, and he signed off. And then I got a mod or a DM from a clone of him, a scammer who was hanging out in our general chat, just waiting for somebody to mess up. And he reached out with a clone of that mod's account, and it wasn't even a very good one. I just wasn't aware that this was a tactic. Like if I knew what I knew now, I would have caught it immediately. He told me to register my wallet for the event because I couldn't get into the exclusive events without my wallet being registered, and directed me to a copycat of the site where we bought our tickets. And it even had a pop-up MetaMask, and rejected my password twice, and I was in a rush. So I did a seed phrase restore, and noticed that everything that I had built over the last year was being drained out of the wallet. It took about 8 minutes. He was running a script to transfer assets into it just enough to make transfers out. And then if I moved anything into it or tried to cancel any transactions, he was having anything I moved into the wallet taken out immediately afterwards as well. So I literally couldn't do anything.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. That's horrifying.
Well, it was horrifying, but fortunately for me, the community, like I watched it happen, and I was able to get the attention of one of our devs, and he did some, I don't know what he did, but he was able to interrupt the attack long enough to get a couple of my assets out, because the OpenSea's compromised wallet, when I fired it off, I still had like 35 NFTs in there. Most of the crypto assets were gone at that point, but even then, the NFTs were still flying out after it was reported as compromised, all the way down until there were only 3 left. But he was able to use that wallet being reported as compromised to pull just enough out for me to restart with. And then the Wall Street Bulls community bought a ton of the stuff that he listed on the floor, and were able to give it back to me at the prices that he listed it at. And it literally saved me from financial ruin and changed my life. Sorry for taking so long to tell you all this, but I wanted y'all to understand why I'm so motivated with education, specifically because since then, I have been on a conquest trying to educate every single person I can about how to make themselves safer online, especially with newer people and the risks of doing this kind of business, and trying to like explain to them, like, you don't get second chances. The way that it works is you only need to be wrong once, just one time, and they can keep trying to get through. And I want to be a part of helping make the space safer for everyone, because I think that in order to achieve widespread adoption, that is what is going to be necessary.
What an amazing story about Wall Street Bulls. And you and Suchi got Jason so excited about Wall Street Bulls. He actually runs upstairs. He was like, I love these guys. What do you think about Wall Street Bulls? I said, I think they're kind of ugly. He's like, but the guys are amazing. We're buying all of them. So now we are Wall Street Bull owners. And
I love it. I love it.
That's what happened. He was just so excited. And that's the thing I want to keep in mind, is that crypto is people. Projects are people. There's a lot of bad people out there, but there's tons of good people. And we just want to do this. So with that, Angie, I wanted to kind of let you drive the show on this. Love you. The first bullet point, you talked about mindset education. And for those of you listening in the audience, before we started, Angie, and I actually love this, and I didn't know you were a doctor before, but this is so amazing. So let's just take 3 mindful breaths. I thought, how different would our lives be if we concentrated on that just throughout our lives and took a chance to slow down and be present? So Angie, why don't you start with mindset education, and we'd love to just have a discussion about that.
Okay, I'm I hope not to take the full hour on this. I'll like try to be brief. Yeah, so I just wanted to share, because I've been in the Bankless DAO Education Guild for about 6 months. So the work that I do here, we are all continuing, and hopefully we can be on the shoulders of giants, and then this industry can keep moving forward and forward. So education, right, is actually like the most important thing that the entire crypto community has been asking for. Like every single like Discord channel you're on, people keep asking for education, but like like Gitcoin Grant, they speak about things about public goods, but you see things that like education is a public good, right? So yeah, education is like needed, but who's actually going to pay for it? So right now, I don't think we have a strong alignment on this. So hopefully we'll be able to figure that part out soon. Like some of these guys, like Citronite, who have like experience with this business part of education. Whereas for me, I'm like the non-business part. I only know how to teach. I don't know how to actually make money from education, honestly. But that is actually a very important part as well. Yeah, so let's start from the first bullet point, okay? Mindset education. So like there's a lot of like speculative activity, and there's a lot of flipping and a lot of like short-term thinking right now in crypto. I mean, since a long time, but it's gotten a lot better for sure. But ultimately we have to create value for the whole humanity, for us to be accepted, for us to have a place in our world. So this is really like, it's either 0 or 1. Either we make it, or people are just gonna we're just going to go down the road as some stupid speculation or some failed experiment, right? Yeah, so we really have to think of long-term thinking, like in this industry. Don't just think of the price. Don't stop looking at the price. In fact, I never look at price. I always think long-term. Think of what's going to happen in 1 year or 3 years, right? Today we are coming into this space, right? I always say it's like you're coming to New York City in the old times. You just see all these farmlands, and you're like, oh, I earn $1, $2, but you're never gonna know, this place is gonna be like a major cosmopolitan city. And today the $1 you make, you can lose out on the gains of like, a few $1,000,000 in the future. Yeah, so just that's really important, right? And it's really like about leadership as well. So like in this space, instead of having 1 or 2 leaders, we have like so many leaders, right? Like today, if I die, if I'm caught or whatever, right? There's Yongs, or if Yongs goes, there's Mrs. Yongs, or if Mrs. Yongs goes, there's Citronite, and there's Suchi, and it just keeps going on and on and on, right? So it's really about how we can replicate ourselves, like a blockchain essentially. Yeah. So every time I enter into a position, I always think of my next succession, my succession planning. Like the moment I take up whatever leadership role, I always think, okay, who's going to be my successor right from the start? And I really urge every one of our contributors to take take an intern, right? Take somebody, take an intern, so that if you are suddenly disappeared, somebody can carry on the torch. Yeah, and that's how the blockchain works, right? Like one person to the next. Yeah. So I also want to touch a little bit of this crypto renaissance awareness. So yeah, we're flipping all these JPEGs, all these NFTs, right? But the whole idea of all this is really part of the crypto renaissance, right? And this is really a huge topic. So hopefully we're able to cover that in depth as well. So once you really see the light, right, you understand this crypto renaissance, right? You're never ever going to flip your JPEGs, because these NFTs are going to be so valuable in the future, right? People just don't really understand it yet, and you're never ever gonna sell your SS token, because the SS token is really one of these milestones in this crypto renaissance, right? It's where we put everybody in the same nation, in one giant crypto metaverse nation, and we start trading with one single token, and we start having one giant, treasury, one giant community fund that everybody can pitch together. Yeah. So I want to touch a little bit about this all-win mindsets as well. So no matter what we think about other blockchains, or blockchain people are very like tribal. Like, of course, I'm like a Ethereum maxi, but ultimately we're all linked, right? So like if some other small chain like have a big hack, or for example Solana goes down for a couple of hours, right? You might think, oh, that's not my chain or whatever, right? But ultimately people are gonna, from the outside, gonna look at, oh, look, this is so unsafe. How can the blockchain go down a couple of days? So it's really it's really a net negative for us, although it's not, you might be very tribal, but really it's an all-win mindset. If all NFT projects do well, we can do well. I know like there's a lot of like prominent people in the space that say that, oh, 99% of NFT projects are going to fail, and that's going to really be a tragedy, because I really hope like 99% of NFT projects are going to do very well. Honestly, it has to be an all-win mindset. Okay, we are all going to make it together, guys. So hopefully we'll be able to bring many NFT founders together with this kind of mindset. We can provide a platform for them to succeed, to execute on their roadmaps. And really, we really have to pursue this all-win mindsets. That's when we can really onboard like a lot of people onto crypto, and everybody can have a happy life. Yeah, and which touched on the last point, things about a balanced life. I've been like in the NFT world for a while. I'm quite deep into some of these NFT communities, and I find that this is really one of the weakest link. There's so many cases of burnouts. People are just like getting fatter and fatter. Their girlfriends are running away, and things like that. So I think sometimes we have to just step out and just look. Hey, look, what's the point of like making money, right? The point of making money is so that we can use our money to do something good for the society, right? And the point of doing that is so that we can gather friends, like right here, this mindset, this entire platform where we can gather people of the same values to share what we are passionate about. I think this is really what making money is about, right? So like, yeah, I mean, we have friends, we can pursue things that we like, we can do something great for the world, we can make our world a better place, and on top of that, we can make a lot of money. So I think really, there is no other thing like this on earth, right? I mean, this is the closest you can get to utopia, honestly. But of course, like there are a lot of grinding issues, like access issues, right? So right now, the people in this space, like people in this room, we are the smartest out there. We speak English. We happen to be mostly males and young. So like, people without internet access, can't speak English, that's going to be a problem. So I hope that we'll be able to solve some of these problems eventually, hopefully. Yeah, but of course, all these are very subtle kind of education goals, right? We're not gonna put it out there as like we're gonna teach this. It's not gonna happen like that. Most of this teaching will go through like more formalized kind of curriculum. Some kind of lessons. You kind of like give little tips, right, to kind of draw people in, right? Then you kind of like educate them about these mindsets, right? So the education will go through service to the DAO. So like I really like what Suchi said. You really learn by teaching. I think that is the most important thing. You really learn by teaching. Yeah. So for anybody out there who thinks that you might not know as much, or you might not know anything, or your portfolio is not as strong as ours, dude, that's the best opportunity. Come on, just you start on a blank state. Just come in, just jump in, just share what you have, right? Everybody comes in with something, right? You're 20 years old, 18 years old, 16 years old, or you're a cat, whatever, right? There is a perspective that you come in with, and that is something that is learning for us as well, right? So sorry.
I just read an article the other day about a 12-year-old who made like $400,000 flipping NFTs because he just got really good at it. So if any of you are the parents of kids that age, just let them know sky's the limit. And yeah, So, Buki, I'd love to get some feedback from you on this. You said that it sounds like you've got a pretty strong tech background, but you said you're a little bit newer to the crypto space. What were the resources for you? Where did you find your education? What was helpful? What do you wish what did it take you a long time to stumble over that you wish that it was just sort of consolidated? So we have a place to start for our community of tech experts who are not crypto native.
Yeah, of course. So I study computer science at NYU, so that's where I came from. And obviously I was a developer, and then we started going into the sorry, my brother-in-law. So we started going into or looking into NFTs, and I went to NFT NYC, and I met this company called Gala Games. I got really interested in that, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna research. Obviously, when I was doing my YouTube and like reading articles, I kind of didn't know where to start or what to look at. And I kind of understood what NFTs were, but I didn't see the true potential until I started working on my own NFT project. And then slowly but surely, I started to figure out what to Google and all that stuff. And then I made friends through different Discord servers who were willing to share their experiences and help me set up my MetaMask. And so they taught me, and then I wanted to branch out and then help other people who are newer to this space learn as well. So I was like, the reason that I finally started to see the true potential of NFTs is working on this project. And so we then decided to, instead of create it, market it, and then release it in hopes that people like it, we're building it from the ground up, live on Twitch, so people can ask questions and learn with me. And because so they see what I Google, like when I get stuck, like where do I go, what paths do I take, who do I ask, and all that stuff. So yeah.
And that's amazing. Yonks and I run another community called Retoken, where we do every single working group on YouTube. And if this is a format that the community likes, we'd really love to start doing that too. Right now, I think we mentioned earlier that we're live streaming, simulcasting on 6 platforms, and we would love to make that more available so that people can watch along because we're all learning together. So, Citronite, would love to get some perspective from you on this. So you said you run this test prep company. What's the best way that you found to aggregate information? How do you figure out what's important? So can you take your professional expertise and put that in the education DAO? How would we start looking at just giving people the nuts and bolts? There's 1,000 books worth of stuff to learn, but how do we boil down into something that's interesting and relevant right now?
Sure. Well, my expertise relies on lots of research. It's like I love researching. This, and then reading materials and basically just condense it down. That's what I do. And also in my test prep industry, there's like so many information out there. You cannot teach everybody everything, right? So it's just we just need to. Usually, what we do is just get to the core of it and then present that information in the most simplistic way, so that the mass can understand, right? So that's it's also like I'm also heavily involved in the academic side, So, for example, like teaching somebody physics, chemistry, and all that, right? Versus teaching somebody about the DAO, right? So there's a lot of technical things, even like for myself, since I've been involved since 2020, and all I'm doing is just every day I have a set amount of hours that I just research as much information as I can consume, and then finally and try to get to the bottom of it. So the best way I would say would be through me, the way I would be able to contribute is basically information that I consume, right? And I break it down into, or basically I simplify that and present it to the mass, so that all the new people who are coming in, also the people who will be coming in down the line. We just started, so we're fairly new. I can tell that there's a lot of people who will be joining the boat. So we need to have information laid out in such a way that it clicks right away. Like they know it. They don't find it super complicated. This is something that I struggle with even till this day in crypto. Like there's a lot of things, I have a background mainly in science, but not in computer science, just crude science. And so like I have to self-teach myself like how these things work, and I want all the newcomers not to go through that route. They should be able to get the information easily, like in a very easily presentable way, so that they don't struggle much. So that's one aspect of crypto. Second thing that also, like this is something that I didn't mention at the beginning. I got pretty nervous because to be honest, like when you gave me the introductory part, like, hey, go introduce yourself. I was like, oh, okay, all right, first time doing a live stream. Like this is something that E-Money brought up, right? First of all, sorry to hear that all the hassle that you had to go through. Like there's a lot of people who are still going through these scams, the NFT scams and all that. And I feel like, as E-Money mentioned, people don't know. And there's just, when you get involved in crypto for the first time, you're like in the middle of the ocean, right? Okay, where do I go? Everything seems pretty credible. So you go there and then all of a sudden somebody pops up, a scammer pops up, and then you get pretty discouraged, lose your money. I also had a bad experience in that aspect too. So I know how E-Money felt regarding that. So it's those things needs to be presented in such a way that people don't make these mistakes. So that's something that motivates me, and this is like another reason why I'm here. Like, can we teach people not to make these mistakes, not to lose their money, not to lose their coins, and how to prevent those scams? So yeah, so this is I'm giving a very general idea, but this is basically how I'm envisioning the future when it comes to the DAO.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think looks like Eric is still connecting to the audio, so we'll come back to him in a second. But Yanks, did you want to talk about how we were thinking about doing professional designations and what this could look like from courses or things that maybe Open DAO would want to think about in the future, just some more formalized education that we could all collaborate on and what that might look like in this format?
Do you mind actually if I touch base on something that Citronite just said?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I wanted to bring something up because as I thank you for the compassion, by the way, but I do want to bring up something that touches directly on what he said, which is that making the information digestible is critical because the level of or the uniqueness of every individual coming into the space makes teaching certain people certain things more difficult, and having it down to its barest bones generally is better, and then having more advanced information available for those who are curious. But I have had a lot of experience recently just teaching people about, because the way that I got hit was a very like directed scammer attack. It wasn't like a DM link or something, like somebody was waiting and watching. And it's those are some of the things that I'd like to throw on the table later when we're talking about which approaches we need to focus on, because from what I've gathered, what happened to me is actually not one of the most common ways that people get hit, where they, because of the exact timing that they targeted me, the guy had been in the server for over a month and a half. So it's just something I wanted to put on the docket. Sorry.
I think that's a great point. And one of the unique and awesome things about crypto that is also pretty terrifying is your wallet's public record. Just think about your bank account or your pay stub or any other piece of financial information. Everybody says, guard that, don't ever let anybody see it. And then here comes crypto and it's all public. And so the scammers can say, well, I want to pick that guy because he's got $500,000 versus this guy doesn't have any money. So it's huge and challenging. And yeah, I think that's a great point, that the more money that's out there, the more scammers are out there. Buki, did you have a question or a comment, or what would you like to add?
Yeah, just touching up on what everyone's been saying. I know a lot of people consume information differently, and so like some people prefer like videos and shorter like TikTok clips versus like longer YouTubes. And so if I can contribute in any way to like pick the information and create like social media type things or little Instagram like posts and stuff, I'd be happy to do that, because I already do that for us.
Thank you. That would be awesome. Yeah, we'd love it. And something that, yeah, you're exactly right. I think there's a couple things we need to think about written, audio, visual, and also length of time. Some people have time to sit through an hour class, and some people just want a 5-minute thing that they can listen to running an errand, that kind of thing. Yonks, I'd love to hear you share what your vision is for some of this education. What are formats that have worked for you in the past?
Yeah, no, thanks for that. And I absolutely, what Buki said resonates quite a bit here. And I did add real quick here, eMoney. I think categorically that would fall under a social engineering scheme where somebody is meticulously targeting or very intentionally in targeting, and then when they see the right opportunity, they seize that. And it can get to be pretty advanced on these social engineering schemes, and that's I'm only suspecting that those will amplify. And I think it was Crypto Night that was talking about the board, or Crypto Dino that was talking about the Bored Ape Yachts clubs, that seems to be pretty rampant there, because you've got some very high profile people, and obviously just like one Bored Ape Yacht NFT is worth a substantial amount of money. So unfortunately, my expectations are that those will only amplify as far as the social engineering aspects that people, these dredge of society people that want to just rob from people. So that's the big opportunity that we have here, and delivering that through multiple modes of content is absolutely going to be an important strategy for creating a solid foundation. And this is something that I said on the Twitter space earlier that Jeremy Reichner was hosting, is that I believe that we have the opportunity to be a beacon to the entire Web3 DAO and NFT ecosystem here as far as what we're creating. So I did add that as far as a next action on this, as far as like identifying that. One low-hanging fruit that I see is like, I understand that the whole Discord can be overwhelming for the uninitiated. And one of the very easy pieces of content, and I'm going to plan on doing this here literally in the next couple of hours, is just walk through the process with how that we exist today, we being the Open DAO in Discord, as far as how the people can participate. I mean, because these alliance calls, I mean, going back to the Google Calendar real quick here, you can see tomorrow. Let's take a look at the calendar for tomorrow, and I'm going to click off of mine so that you can see it a little bit better here and zoom this in. I mean, we've got so much opportunity for everybody to participate tomorrow. Well, and I guess it's technically today, just depending on what time zone you are, but there's a lot of opportunity to contribute here. We're just getting started, everybody. I mean, like 2 weeks ago, we didn't exist, and we are, you can tell here by the high quality of people that are participating here today that we are absolutely committed to this thing. Everybody's super passionate about it. So I know that we've only got 5 minutes left, and I do want to be respectful of everybody's time. And we're just getting started. We don't have to cover everything in the agenda here. But one of the things that I would like to do, how did everybody feel about using this? This was the lettuce meet that we created. Is this something that we want to use for scheduling our next call here for the Education Alliance?
I think it's great. Also, Eric Young dropped his introduction in the chat window if y'all want to read it, or I can read it out for you.
Yeah, go ahead and read. Yeah, go ahead and read it if you'd like. Go ahead and read it.
Eric Young says, I'm a secondary school teacher in Singapore teaching mathematics and English. Just started my crypto journey in February 2021 by buying Ethereum. Only started my bankless journey on 1st of November after being onboarded by you. 2 months seems like a long time in this journey. Totally new to DAOs, but I want to pick up the ropes and continue building Web3 as a decentralized platform, free from venture capital and big corporations. The whole GME saga also lends to my conviction that Web3 must be free from insidious influences of Web2 companies and corporations. I bought GME stocks and was a participant of the short squeeze.
Well, Eric, welcome. We're glad you're here. I understand you're having some audio issues, so if you have any comments or whatever, if you want to throw those in the chat, or if you wanted to unmic, you're welcome to. So since we only do have a few minutes left, I love working groups where we end up with action items. So Angie, I'm going to flip it back to you. Would you like to call out any specific actions that you want us to take as a community, and then everybody else after that?
I think we have to take it slow with the values, the mission, and the vision. That is the most important document. And also the mission has to be really, really specific. So we don't have time to do many educational objectives. We have to focus on maybe one or two. Yeah. So I can see definitely one of the focus will be cybersecurity and how to keep our wallets safe. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Buki, one or two action items that you would like to see, and Jason, thanks for taking notes on this.
Right, so the action item will be.
Oh, go ahead, Angie.
Oh, sorry. So the action item will be create a document about our education guild values, mission, and vision, and request for comments. Yeah, RFC. Yeah. Sorry.
Yep, awesome. Buki, would love to hear maybe one action item that you'd like to recommend or participate in.
Still thinking. Next person, please.
Sure.
Oh,
Jan,
no.
what
It's
do you
not just
think about-
it's not
go
keeping
ahead.
wallet safe. It's like for the value, mission, and vision of the Education Alliance. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, no problem. And yeah, this is a flexible document, so I don't expect we're not carving anything in stone here, but just wanted our core is to make sure that we just get everybody's ideas out there, and then we've got action steps. Yonks, would love to hear one or two ideas from you about next steps.
I think the biggest opportunity that we have is like getting some alignment here and just sticking. I think that a lot of people like just the very simple aspect here as far as these, adhering to this and doing things again that can keep people safe as far as like what E-Money said and what Angst said too. Angus, I'm gonna just go with Angie TS. So that's I'm struggling with the other pronunciation. So I will echo the sentiments, and I'm here to support. I love creating some content. I love the live streaming format. I already had this as an action item here as far as just making it easy for people to participate. And that's one of the things that I feel that I have kind of a unique aspect. I do have a very strong technical background, and I didn't even talk about that tonight, but one of the things that I feel that I can do pretty well is communicate, whether it's in a written manner or on camera, doing a live stream that makes it easy for people to really grasp, and whether that's short clips of content or whatever the case may be, and the opportunity to deliver that in a manner where people can consume that with whatever they find convenient. Now, I'm not a TikToker, and so I don't do the short video clips, but I'm sure that there's other people in our community that loves doing that, and I do know that there's a lot of eyeballs that look at TikTok as far as from a global content standpoint. So that's all that I've got.
Awesome. Fun fact, for the first time ever last month, TikTok jumped over Google as the #1 visited website in the world. So next time you need some cocktail party trivia, there you go.
One thing too is I would like to, and I don't think that we need to necessarily decide today, but just like from a thumbs up, how's everybody liking this live streaming format for moving forward to do this for our future sessions? So that's one of the things that I think we can put forward in the proposal chat on Discord, because like the one of the opportunities that we have is to, and I gotta get thank you, Andrew, for the engagement on YouTube, and I know that there Tails, thank you for the engagement too. So that's one of the things that I love about this format, is that it makes it very accessible. And whether you're coming in on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. Yes, we are streaming this on LinkedIn also. So
and we are
it's
global.
everywhere.
So for those of you that are at a really odd time in your normal day, thank you for participating. I know we're all over the world. So Crypto Dino, would love to hear you have any thoughts on what our next action item should be.
Thanks, Ms. Youngs. I think our next action should be some basic anti-scam, metrics. Say, for example, some very simple actions we can take is, if you ever got approached by the contributors or moderators, just always go to the server, click their profile, and talk to them and say, hey, this you are messaging me or something like that, because they can fake the name exactly as their Discord. So I think about 3 days ago, I got tricked once, which I'm willing to share with you. I actually gave away 1 Ether to someone impersonate Rachel, which is one of our contributor. I was working 16, 15 hours that day, so my brain is a mesh. So I didn't think much. I just said, give me your wallet address, I'll send it through, and I did. So I mean, even for someone like me, I can get caught every now and then. Within this space, if you haven't got rugged, you're not in this space long enough. But I hate to see that happen for new people, because it could be devastating for someone that trying to learn something and get bashed on the head for their first goal. So I think something like that, the Discord impersonal scams, how to verify the wallet authentications, because every time you click on the confirm on your MetaMask, you actually allow third party to interact with your wallet, and a lot of times I think that's something that the wallet builders can drastically improve as well. They don't really give us enough warning. Some people say, it's too long, didn't read, and then just click confirm. It could come back to you really, really, really bad. And there are also other Twitter giveaways and interviews. They say, we're going to give you a free MT if you do this, do that, and download this link, and then you get caught. And also a lot of people get caught through third-party link scam. Lucky enough that MT Trader platform, they don't do the link anymore, but there's still other scams that for example, some of my mates in the ape community, so they trying to save a few Ether transaction fees by going through the third party platform, and I'm losing their entire wallet, not only their MTs but also their cryptos too. So
yeah, that's such good advice.
Really easily.
Yeah, that's such good advice. And Buki, I saw that you raised your hand right after I started with Crypto Dino. So go ahead and share whatever you'd like.
Yeah, just touching up on the live stream format. I think that's also going to be really good. If we live stream stuff, we could also reuse the information that's being said on the live streams and like redirect it to TikTok, Instagram, everything. And so we could cut the important pieces and then post that on our TikTok, so you don't have to refilm or create like other content. But yeah,
great idea.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Angie, you had your hand up too. What would you like to share?
Yeah, I have a crazy idea. If you guys are down to it, we can actually have a team of white hat hackers, and we can actually train them to run drills on our own Discord. So we will simulate a Discord hack, we simulate like a YouTube hack. We can we can simulate airdrop hack and everything like that. And with the real funds and all that, we can return it to the guys. But and they'll get a I got dragged poem.
I love it. It's a great proposal. Suchi, what would you like to add? Give us 1 or 2 ideas that we should add to the education list.
Basically, what I really want to focus on is that teaching people how to basically use the advantage that all of the liquidity pools and staking pools are providing to basically use the compound effect that the DeFi decentralized basically finance is providing right now. For example, what is happening with the sushi swap and a little bit more concentration not only on the cybersecurity but on the opportunities as well, because we just don't want to make people be fearful. Of course, everybody should be very careful and super cautious basically in the space, but also we should inform the people that what availability and what basically potential this space has as well, and also emphasize on the opportunities that the, SOS and in general decentralized finance can provide for them to create some kind of passive income and use the compounding effects on their initial investment to use the best of the space.
Yeah, great idea. It's awesome. Citronite, give us 1 or 2 action items that we should put on the list for education.
Yeah, sure. Suchi actually pretty much explained my idea. So this is what I've been thinking about LPs and staking rewards, right? How it works. So we should definitely have something that can teach people how that works. Because last time I was in a call, I think it was the very first Discord live stream that we had. There were some people who had questions. They're asking that, oh, how does that work? People are saying that I'm just blindly buying SOS, right? And I have no idea what's going on with it. So we definitely need to educate some of the newcomers that, oh, this is what it means. Oh, what LP means, that's what it means, in a very simple form, or how staking works. So these are some of these things. So yeah, Suchi explained it pretty nicely. Also, like roles and responsibilities, right? How we will be able to team up, right? And then execute the task. Because right now we're basically brainstorming, right? And we're just coming up with all these actions, but execution is the key. That's the only way we can get done. So how we are going to team up with each other, right? And whose roles will be what. So this is what I think we should get done first. And this is like one of the key things, which is also aligned with like the mission and the vision for the Education Alliance. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great feedback. Suchi, go ahead and share whatever you'd like.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to basically add this point as well, that regarding the creating the contents, as one of my degrees is in film studies, I think we actually can for the alliances create some kind of content about how to create the contents, and basically simple use of the editing tools, and simple use of the basically, I know there is million basically of these videos outside. We can even redirect them to them, or we can basically create ourselves, or we can have just a live sessions like this to basically teach very simple basic stuff that everybody basically work as a content creator inside the educational alliances, and if they want to create the content, it's going to be much more easier, and that's something that's going to make us definitely more powerful as well.
That's really great feedback. Thanks for sharing that. Yancey, are you able to speak now? I know your audio wasn't great before. Are you in a better cell range now? Okay, I don't think he's with us. Yancey, if you can hear me and you want to add anything, please drop in the comments so we don't miss whatever you would like to add. And then one of the things that we could potentially look at adding it, I don't know how the community would feel about this, just raising our Discord level to the verified phone numbers and or Bright ID or Proof of Humanity, stop some of the Sybil attacks, stop some of the just 57,000 people and probably growing way more than that. It's just like a lot of people to manage. So just in another server that I'm in, we had 5% of the population. I just cleaned out 25 bots, and the scam reporting channel is good and valuable. I think that's only going to increase. So weeding them out on the front end, I think, will be super important. Engi, go ahead.
Oh, I suddenly forgot. Oh, okay, sorry. I wanted to put a little bit of breaks on content creation. So there's this thing called the instructional design. So instructional design is a specialty skill that senior teachers have regarding how we create content that has educational outcomes. Okay, so when we want to spend money, when we request for funding, when we want to do any kind of content creation, we must make sure that we attach it with some document that states the educational objectives, and we have the educational principles built in mind, right? So we have to remember that. So if you, I don't know if you guys are down for some kind of instructional design toolkits, or some kind of forum for educational alliance to at least build this foundation first.
That's a really good idea. Well, we are right at time. I did want to be respectful of all your time. We're a couple minutes over. So does anybody have any last comments before we close this out?
Yeah, when POAP, are we going to have POAPs for our alliance sessions?
I am pro POAP. I just want to throw that out there. The cooler the POAP, the better.
If you're not using two-factor authentication for your Discord, please put it on.
Yes, that all day.
Super important. I cannot stress it enough. We don't know how much more we're going to build out this little nook of the Discord, or what permissions we're going to need to do such. It is super important to have that second factor identification for it, because if somebody gets in, even with compartmentalization, they can cause a lot of issues.
Absolutely. That's great advice. Does anybody else have last comments before we close out?
So does somebody want to own the POAP event creation? And that's something that I've got some screenshots as far as the people that are participating. And obviously this is on LiveStream. I didn't get the stuff here. And if you can help Mrs. Yonks get the participants that participated on our LiveStream all dialed in here. We do love the POAPs, and hopefully everybody claimed their POAP for voting on the recent multi-sig snapshot proposal. So that's something that we really love. So is that something that we're all saying yay on the POAPs?
Yes. I just love it as well. We just have the, I don't know if you guys, all of you, I think minted already the POAPs for the multi-sig election. And I think this event POAPs is going to be very valuable in the future. And as for myself, it's just going to be part of the, basically part of the experience that I had in life. And I just I love them. And the fact that they are, that you don't have to pay any gas for it. Maybe you definitely want to mint that, because why not? There is no basically reason for you not to mint it.
No, that's fantastic. Well, yeah, we all, I love pubs. Angie does win pubs. So funny.
Yes.
I'm really glad that POAP did fix some of their security. Jason and I hosted a book club together that had like a half dozen people on it, and the pub got claimed 6,000 times because it got farmed. So that was interesting. I was trying to tell people, it's like, look, I hosted a book club with 6,000 people. It's exciting. They all said they were there. So anyway, well, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. If you would like to replay any part of it, please do. Subscribe to our channel. Throw us a thumbs up. We love it. Throw us a comment. It really helps our YouTube juice. So on behalf of our global team, Angie, Yonks, Buki, Citronite, Suchi, Crypto Dino, E-Money, and E-Yancey, thank you guys so much. You were an awesome panel, and we will see you all next time. Thanks again.
Thanks again.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, guys. I also support POAPs, in case you didn't see that. I lost so many of them when I got scammed, and I've only just started recollecting them, but I think they're the coolest thing.
Yeah.
It's like gym badges for Pokemon. It's the best thing ever. Anyway, all right, guys.
Absolutely. All right, have a good one. Happy New Year, WAGME 2022.
Yeah, WAGME. Let's go.
Yeah, Open DAO strong.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good one.
All right. Have a lovely evening, guys. Bye.
Yeah. By the way, you can transfer out your POAPs. It's on XDAI chain. Where is?
Yeah, but I already had them on the wallet, and he, when he compromised it, he literally emptied most of it out. And
You mean did he store the POAPs as well?
yeah.
What? It's ridiculous.
Exactly. Who does that? But because it was a script, the scripts are being designed to basically salvage whatever is inside there, like make it
it'll
like 0
pull
day
out
time.
anything that it doesn't like. The only thing it won't pull out is stuff it doesn't recognize. So a bunch of the ones that I got from a convention in Atlanta and a bunch of other ones, they like some of those stayed, but the other ones he got out. And on top of that, every time I log into the wallet to do anything, because like to claim the SOS airdrop, I had to log into it and transfer ETH in there. And immediately afterwards, he just started randomly transferring no value NFTs out to his wallet out of spite. He's, I don't know. I don't think he's a very good scammer because he's still interacting with my compromised wallet. So he's just petty.
I got some thoughts out there, right? Actually, there is a way to upgrade the NFT contract, right, to invalidate NFT. So there should be, if our research group can get their heads on it, right, there should be a way in the future to actually flag certain NFTs as hacks, and we can actually burn them and reissue them again. But then we're giving a lot of power to the devs. So I don't know, just some thoughts out there. Yeah, it is definitely possible.
Yeah, I've actually heard a lot. Hey, Guy. I've actually been doing a lot of research on that, and there's another smart contract optimization protocol that is being developed by some people on our server that is, it's also doing some cool things. I'd love to circle up with you sometime about it. But anyway, have a great night, guys.
Have a great
Wag
night.
me 2022.
Wag me. Let's go.